Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Tuesday Evening Happy Hour with Back to Basics Dog Training. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training. And each and every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I bring you this live free dog training Q&A session. So, with that being said, anybody who's watching me now live in living color or later on the replay, please put a comment in. Let me know you're watching, where you're watching from. Excuse me. Um, as you guys know, anybody who's following me, the more comments I get, the more questions I get, the more jacked up I get, and the more dogs we can help. So remember, this is a free live training session where no questions regarding your dog's behaviors are off limits. So shoot me a comment. Let me know what problems you're having with your dog, and I'll be happy to do my best to try to answer it. So, as always, I'm going to start off with the topic of the week. And last week, I had two great training sessions. I'm going to talk about one in specific because I think a lot of people deal with it. Um, a lovely couple got a corgi puppy about 8 months ago, maybe 7 months ago, depending on when it was. And, you know, corgis are a quirky breed. You have to get to know them, but they can be very stubborn and tenacious dogs. Um, this one in particular bit mom pretty bad when it was a puppy, a very young puppy. But she was trying to take off the harness, which anybody who follows me knows I'm not a big fan of the harnesses. So, um, you know, not saying the harness. Hello, Phyllis and Junior, watching while we can. Great. Uh, just so everybody knows, I think it's next Tuesday night. Phyllis, correct me if I'm wrong. We are going live on a live training session to help you and Junior out overcome some of his insecurities. I'm excited to do it. I got your email. I think it was yesterday. I haven't had a chance to go over it yet. Tomorrow is my day to sit there and do computer stuff. So tomorrow I'm going to start forming that up. And get that posted out there because next Tuesday night, guys, we'll be live with Phyllis talking about some issues that Junior's having, and maybe I'll help you guys with some of the issues you guys are having. So please remember, please share this. Share next week. I'm going to post it out there tomorrow that we're going to be doing it. I'm going to share it with rescue groups around the country. We're going to hopefully get a lot of people in here to help and guide more dogs. So anyway, getting back to this corgi. So corgi bit mom when she went to go take off the harness, and she got, and it was a bad bite. Um, she got bit, and of course she pulled away, so it kind of ripped her finger a little bit. And after that, she has a fear of her puppy now. Her husband's the only one who could take the harness on and off, put the harness on and off the dog. Um, Walking is a disaster with this little guy. She's 8 months old now, and when she doesn't want to walk, she stops, and that's it. She doesn't want to do it. She's not going to do it. So she had joined one of my lives one night, or we were talking. I don't remember. And I suggested getting a slip leash, getting away from the harness. And of course, Haley didn't like Harley didn't like the harness the slip leash very much, and protested. And she didn't know what to do about it, so she waited till I got there. So we did some things, and the first thing I noticed when I came in is the barking I heard was definitely an insecure type of bark. So it tells me that she took a job she doesn't want. She feels like she has to be in charge. She doesn't want the job, but definitely the bark was had some insecurity about it. She did warm up to me nicely, so that showed me the true dog that she is. Um, and after some conversation and just trying to make everybody live in the moment, forget about what happened yesterday because we can't control yesterday. We truly try to live in the moment with the dogs. I put the slip leash on her, and she wasn't thrilled about it. You can see as soon as we put the slip leash on in proper position, high and tight behind the ears, she knew she was losing control. She's like, "Uh oh, this isn't cool. This guy's going to take over on me." And she protested a little bit, locked up, kind of did a little bit of bucking and stuff like that. And I just guided her through it. Remember, when we talk about fear and insecurity in dogs, guys, we don't force the issue. Yes, it was very easy for me to force a corgi to do what I want it to do. Drag it through the house, drag it down the stairs, drag it across the lawn, whatever, to get it to walk. That's not how I'm going to do it. I'm going to guide the dog. I'm going to help the dog make better decisions so they can be happier working with us. So I did my normal leash pressure, and eventually she moved, and I released it. I'm like, good girl, let's go, and we kept doing it. And we got her out the house, and everything went really well. I wasn't worried about a lot of structure at this point, to be honest with you. I was just more concerned about her mind. I can see that she had this fear of the walk for whatever reason. So I decided not to do a lot of structure. My goal was just to keep momentum going. And if she was out ahead of me, that was okay. I did check my surroundings. There was no other dogs around, so I wasn't worried about perception from another dog, or I wasn't worried about her perception. And we got about 4 or 5 houses down, and she just locked out, guys, and she did the full out temper tantrum. And I don't know if you ever had the misfortune or fortune of seeing a dog throw a temper tantrum on a leash. And the only way I could describe it so everybody can get a great understanding is it looks like a bucking bronco doing the alligator death roll all at one time. Um, Up on its back legs, flipping around. Um, and I just guided her through it and I let her do her temper tantrum. And once she was done, I'm like, okay, you're done, let's go. And she locked up and took a little bit of convincing, but she moved with us and we took her to a nice grassy area where it was a lot safer for her, just in case she did throw a temper tantrum again. And I'll tell you now, I've worked with a lot of dogs that throw these temper tantrums. Usually I get it once, twice, maybe 3 times they throw the temper tantrum. And then they give it up. They realize, well, we still got to do what this guy wants me to do, so why bother fighting it? Nothing bad happened to me. This little girl gave me a run for my money. It was a good 20, 25 minutes of nothing but temper tantrums to the point where it got so vocal with it. She got very vocal with it, excuse me. Where not only was she doing the bucking bronco, doing the alligator death roll, but it was very vocal. I'm not sure what people in the neighborhood thought, but didn't really concern myself with that very much, what people thought. Um, but the goal is I needed to keep her moving forward. Let her get this excess negative energy, because that's what the temper tantrums are, guys. It's a negative energy out of her system. And eventually she gave it up. She just either she could have been exhausted, she could have been whatever, but she gave it up and she started going with me, not ahead of me, not behind me, next to me. She was walking. So as we were walking back, after 20 minutes of this, I knew that that was it. We can't push the threshold too much more. Otherwise, it's overpowering to a dog. I would never do that in a million years. Um, but as we were walking back towards their house, they were like, "Oh, watch what's going to happen. She's going to try to run right up the stairs." And I said, "All right, well, we can't have that because that means she's controlling it." So I said, "All right, fine. We're going to go past your house." And I just walked, and she just went with me. She didn't try to bolt up the stairs. She didn't try to shut down at that point. We walked past the house, maybe, I don't know, 50 feet, turned around, came back past the house again. She did really good. The next step was we came in and we went back to the house. We get back in the house. I take the leash off now. The big fear was, again, because of the dog's past, that that she may bite me trying to take off the slip leash. Well, I reached down, I took off the slip leash. And she didn't bite me. One, because I went with my 4 C's, calm confidence. And by her throwing all those temper tantrums, she learned she can trust me that anything I do to her, I'm not going to hurt her. Because that's never what we want to do. We never want to hurt the dog. We never want to scare the dog. Even though she was throwing these temper tantrums, we weren't beating her into submission. We were just guiding her through whatever the mental block was for the fear to move. And eventually she got it. And then as we were wrapping up and we were going through some more dog psychology stuff, she laid down by my feet. Not mom's feet, not dad's feet, by my feet, very content to stay with me because she got what she actually needed, which was the 4 C's of training: calm, confidence, consistency, and I got the control. And it shows mom and dad, shows us as humans that, hey, even though I just tortured this dog, and I'm not really torturing it, it's just the look of it, of the temper tantrum, um, that she wanted to stay with me. Off leash, nobody was forcing her hand. She stayed with me, laying down by my feet, looking up at me for guidance, and was just in such a content state of mind. It was a beautiful thing to see. So, guys, let me know if this makes sense in the comments. Again, the more feedback I get from you, the more this flows nicely. Um, I'd love to start seeing some questions pop up, guys. Because we're here to try to help you. And without the questions, it's just me rattling on for 15 minutes to a half hour or an hour, depending on what's going on. The other session I had that was really, really good was a couple had a boxer puppy, well, puppy, maybe 2 years old now, so I don't know if it's really a puppy. Um, Overall, a real great dog. I mean, greeted me nicely at the door. Just some little nuances that they couldn't get past. One was obsessive licking. Um, And the mom and dad kind of said it was their fault because when he was a puppy, he would use his mouth on them, and they would encourage licking instead of biting. So now the dog just wants to lick you to death, which can be quite annoying. And I mean, I don't mind being kissed once or twice by a dog, but when it's obsessive, it's kind of annoying. And the thing is, what we realize is he's very bossy when it comes to when he wants to play. Um, he's very good at training people to fetch. You throw the ball, he wants you to get it. He'll bring the ball and he'll get the ball, but he'll bring it and make you go. He'll drop it someplace so you have to go get it, or he'll knock his ball underneath something so you have to go get it. So it was his way of controlling certain things. And again, why? Because play became an excited point of view, and we rewarded him because he wanted to play. So what did we do? We stopped everything we're doing and we played. So basically, he said, "Play with me now." And the human said, "Okay, fine." Instead of saying, "No, no, no, I don't want to play now." And then when the human was ready to play, the human should initiate the play. Remember, we're always initiating any of the things. I totally believe in what I say when I say I disagree with a dog getting excited on their own terms. But that's not saying your dog can't get excited. Your dog can get excited when you're asking it to, when you're initiating the play, or you're initiating the jump up on you. They shouldn't be making these decisions on their own. When you make the decision to play with your dog, that's great. Start them in a calm state of mind. Play with them for however long you want to play with them. And when you are done playing with them, bring them back down to a state of calm. Michelle, I owe you the biggest apology. Keep meaning to reach out to you. New York got out of hand. I couldn't figure out a way to fit anybody else but what I was doing on my schedule. Um, Hello, Michelle Robb, Athena in Bergen, is 1.5 years old and still very much puppy. Pounces, bites, jumps up on me all the time. I say no and walk away, but she chases me. She does the same thing to Athena. I need her to calm down. Yeah, you do. And, it's going to have to be some help from Rob on this. When you come home, when you come in and you set her up for success with this, um, is when Rob is home, you go out 5 minutes because the dog doesn't realize it. He has her on the leash, and if you come in and she gets excited, he needs to correct her hard. You, when you come in, no look, no touch, no talk, but you are not her pack mate. Um, are not her pack mate. You're her pack leader. So you can only acknowledge her when Rob is handling her, only when she's calm. But Rob needs to help you get her there. So when you come in, he has her on the leash and he's making corrections. Remember, if she's at a 4, he has to be at a 5. Um, and you just keep doing this. Stay consistent. He gets her to calm down, praise her, pet her, treat her, whatever. Walk out, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But you, no look, no touch, no talk. When you come in through that door, don't acknowledge her. The other thing you can do if Rob is not around is as soon as you come in, get in the door, shut the door, and stand your ground. Put your back to the door. If she jumps up on you, use your knee to block. Don't knee her. and wait her out. But you have to be calm, confident. So you walk in, you put your back up against the door, you stand up tall. No. Breathe in the roses, blow out the candles, and center your energy for calm confidence. And just wait her. Wait her out. Wait. I'm telling you, it works. I've done this a million times. You wait her out, you just stand there, you stand there, you stand there until finally she's going to be like, well, what the hell do I got to do? Either she's going to sit calmly or she's going to walk away. But it takes time and takes consistency. Um, that would be my best suggestion. I will after this, Michelle. I'm going to shoot you a text tonight, and we need to regroup, and we'll just do a one-on-one real fast. When you guys got time. Bonnie, welcome. Um, our last transport, we received 4 dogs at very little human contact. I've been. It's been 2 months, and 2 dogs are doing well, and the other 2 will still not warm up to humans. We also been getting up and leaving the room when she's wild, barking. She gets confused and is quieter. Yeah, that does work. I just don't know for how long. Because again, you're not addressing the issue. You're walking away from it. Um, we have to carry them out of their kennels. They run freely in play yard, but avoid us at all costs. What else can we do to move them along? It's heartbreaking to watch. All right, so Bonnie, I would definitely not carry them out of their kennels. I would use a leash. I would get them out on a leash, guide them through whatever this insecurity, this fear is. They're close to feral dogs, so they have no trust in humans. But I would definitely use a leash more. I would get them out on a leash, and even in the play yard, I would have them leashed. It's not about playing at this point. They got to learn to trust the human, and you're by giving them the play yard or the fenced-in area, you're giving them the flight mechanism to run away from what's scaring them. You're not teaching them to come to what's scaring them. So by using a leash, and it doesn't have to be a 6 foot leash. I mean, once you get them out there and you get some structure going, if you want to give them a longer leash, that's safe that they can't slip out of, um, get a longer lead, get a 25-foot lead, whatever. Um, no, oh, you do keep them on a leash. You just trust your instincts, Bonnie. Um, Yeah, trust your instincts. I would do so much more structure with them because remember, even the structure walk that I've set up, it's about bonding and it's about structure and leadership, but it's also about bonding. Um, it may be, and again, do this with a slip leash or a martingale, please, so they don't have the flight back up. Maybe take them outside the play area where they need to trust you to keep them safe. Then keep them on a short leash and keep them with you. Um, you know what? Change what I said. I wouldn't give them a long lead. I would keep them probably on a short leash the whole time they're with me. Um, but I wouldn't be forcing anything. I'd be again, it's guiding them through this insecurity. Um, Bonnie, give me some videos on this. I'd love to see them in action so I can really see what they're doing, and then I can help you a lot more one on one with that too. Um, but I would definitely deep breath, take one out of the cage, work with structure, work on the short leash healing theory that we use. Follow me, I'm going to lead you. And when they're really good and you see they're not doing this, because they're starting to trust your energy of the calm confidence, give them a treat reward if they're food motivated at all. I don't think, based on what you're saying, they're food motivated at this point. Um, but definitely give them some praise, but don't overdo the praise. Um, if you overdo the praise, it can actually be a negative. Um, and don't forget, if you do too much praise and it's too excited, it'll set them back. So when I'm working with these fearful dogs, and this is what it is, I mean, I've worked with a dog down here that was as close to feral as possible. It was more about me guiding and leading through the short leash, not good motivated. Not food motivated. I'm assuming that's what that's supposed to be. Yeah, they're too shut down to accept food. Um, are they toy motivated at all? Because you can use toys. Toys are great motivation for some dogs. Um, you got to find something that motivates them. Right now, it's not even the human contact or the human excitement. I would do everything baby steps. Um, like other dogs, like other dogs. Okay. So if you have, use another dog to help you then. If you have a good, happy, balanced dog that you can work with, and I'm going to say this, and you know me well enough. Hi, Wendy. I'll be right with you. If you have a dog like Zoe, who's calm and confident, take that dog with one of these dogs on a walk, on a structure, and then praise the other dog. Let them see the other dog is getting praise. They do learn that way. Use the other dog to help guide them. So what I would do, as long as you can trust the other dog 100%, have the other. It would be human dog dog, and I would have the better balanced dog towards the outside with the insecure dog next to me. So your balanced dog is actually helping form the tunnel, for lack of better terms. And they'll read the other dog's energy and say, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be. But again, you have to match the other dog's energy. And if you have a good balanced dog, they're going to be calm, confident. Let me know if that makes sense because it does work with other dogs. I've used my dogs for that quite often. Uh, Wendy with Frankie, how did I get him to bring? How do I get him to bring the ball and drop it? By me didn't get what command to use. And how do I get Frankie to let my husband walk her by himself? When I'm home, he won't. Where I lost my train. When I'm home, he won't walk with Tommy, but by himself. He gets out there, but keeps looking back to see if I'm coming. Okay, so Tommy's going to have to again check into the calm, confident energy. I'll get to the ball in a second. I'm not big on worrying about if a dog brings the ball back to me, but I can give you some tips on that. And when Frankie locks up, when your husband is taking him out and he's looking behind you, his job is just to apply a little bit more leash pressure than Frankie is applying. So Frankie is looking back and he's kind of fighting it and he's putting down like a foot pound of pressure, looking at the door. Tommy's got to hold a foot and a half the other way. And as soon as he gets any motion, I don't care if it's sideways, backwards, forward, any motion, he relaxes that tension. Good boy, let's go. With calm confidence and just walk. Just keep rinsing and repeating. This is similar to what I did with this corgi. The other thing that he can do is, and again, don't drag Frankie because if Tommy drags Frankie to do this and forces Frankie to do it, Frankie's not going to trust him. So by guiding him, which is that leash pressure, it works. One of the things you can also try, and I've done it, and it's been semi successful, is we get out the door, we walk 10 feet, Frankie locks up. Okay, fine. Turn around, walk back 2 feet, and then turn around and go forward again and try to get another foot out of it. So now you're 11 feet. And every time you pass that threshold where he stops, so if he stopped at 10 foot, you turn around and you get to 11 foot. Good boy, Frankie. Yes, let's go. Oh, do it again. Now we got 12 feet. Good. And let Frankie build up confidence that every time he moves past that threshold, Tommy's energy is so happy, he's going to want to follow Tommy. Does that make sense? Because that is crucial. I did that with a dog here that was extremely fearful. Didn't want to leave. It's a little bit different, but he'll build the confidence with Tommy. But again, you always start the walk in a calm state of mind. So if Frankie is calm at the door and walks out like a gentleman, Frankie's good boy, let's go with calm confidence. And Frankie will follow. I know this, guys. I've seen it so many times. Um, As far as getting a dog to bring back a ball and give it to you, it's not something I ever really work on, but I do know the concept behind it. First of all, they got to be looking. I don't have a ball here, so we're going to use this as the ball, my hello tags. So this is the ball. We're holding the ball here, and 99% of the dogs I know are looking right here. They're looking right here at the ball. They're not looking at the human. The human throws the ball, they get the ball. Eventually, the human gets the ball back, dog focuses on the ball again, human throws the ball. The human became a tennis ball launcher. In order for a dog to bring you back something, you have to be relevant in the equation. I'm working with somebody with a German Shepherd, and that was one of his things he wanted us to work on. And what we started doing is the ball's here. Ace is the dog's name. Ace has to look here at the handler. Then the handle praises and throws the ball. And then Ace is starting to bring it back to the circle, for lack of better terms. Maybe not right to him, but to the circle. And then eventually we're working on with Ace is looking here. He throws the ball, but he didn't give a release command. Now, so we did this with a short leash. We're holding the leash. We threw the ball. Nope. He looks at us again. Go get it. Okay. Oh, you're even more relevant because you threw it and I still can't get it. It's you have to be more relevant in that throwing of the ball process than the ball. Most of the times, the ball is more relevant than the human behind the ball. Like I said, humans become tennis ball launchers. Same way humans become Pez dispensers because when we feed the dogs, they're looking at their food, they're never looking at the human. We're just Pez dispensers, we're vending machines, looking at the opening to see what we're going to get. So I hope that makes sense, Wendy. Again, you can always reach out to me, guys, one on one. Anybody who's not here in the Carolina areas that do need one on one sessions, guys, I do offer uh, Zoom sessions are definitely economical point. I mean, hell, an hour and a half, 2 hour Zoom session is $75. And that's one on one, me focusing on your issues specifically, not going from Wendy to Bonnie to this one to that one to this one to that one. Focused on you. Michelle, I will definitely reach out to you tonight. Let's set up a time where we can do either FaceTime or Zoom, just because I really feel bad about not getting there when I was up in New York. It just got out of my control between family issues and business. Um, I will be back up in New York in July, but it's a short visit. That one should be a lot easier because it's just babysitting. So that one I think at this point right now with babysitting, I got to talk to that person to see if they want me to do. Interest in both, or let me know when you're on Long Island. Love to set something up. Yeah, I'm going to be working on it, guys. I don't have the dates in front of me, but it's definitely sometime in July. I don't remember the exact dates. I think it's going to be a 5 day trip. It's not going to be a long trip as of right now. The people who I do the babysitting for, I'm trying to convince them to let me do a real good heavy duty intensive training with one of their dogs, and then stay there an extra week to work with them and the dog. So it's kind of like up in the air, but we got to talk about it. But we'll figure it out. And remember, guys, because we're at the magic 30-minute mark, next Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock. Phyllis will be on. We'll be discussing Junior's issues, his insecurities. So, Wendy, this may help you. Bonnie, this may help you because we're going to be talking about some of the insecurities of her dog. Insecurities all get handled the same way, but we're going to focus specifically on Junior's issues. Um, so, Bonnie, please, I know you always do, share my information with your fellow fosters because we can help. Um, the methods work. And as long as we get everybody on the same page, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. It's my motto. I live by it. This is truly what I want to do. Um, but with that being said, guys, I had a long day today. I actually had to babysit my granddaughter, and I didn't realize how hard of a day that could be. So I'm a little bit exhausted, as you can hear my voice, kind of losing my voice tonight. Um, but if there's no other questions, we're going to wrap it up. I will be live this coming Saturday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time as well. Um, so remember, please, guys, it's a free platform. Share it with your friends and family around the country and around the world so you guys can help me live up to my dream. Together, we can help one dog and one family at a time. With that being said, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. As always, thank you for inviting me into your home each and every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's truly an honor and a blessing to be here with you. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. We'll see you Saturday morning.